trails. I'm the cryptid huntress, Jessica Jones, and I'm ready to take you on a mysterious journey right now. We welcome you to Off the Trails right here on the Spaced Out Radio's YouTube channel. If you guys haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. We would love to have you. And shout out to Bumblefoot for that awesome intro music. We really appreciate it. All right, you guys can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, on Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on TikTok at Spaced Out Radio. You guys can find me at thecryptidhuntress.com, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Cryptid Huntress, where I have an amazing afternoon show every Wednesday at 1 p.m. and a remote viewing show every Thursday night where I remote view some weird stuff every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You guys, please go shopping at War Woman Goods. That's my Etsy shop. That's all one word, like smushed together. War Woman Goods on Etsy. That's where you'll find me. And become a member of my Patreon if you guys would like to support my work and follow along with my remote viewing data for my shows. Okay, I would love to have you guys. And thank you to everybody who is a member of my Patreon. I love you guys. Man, and did I have an awesome time substituting in for Dave Scott this week? I'm telling you what, I'm having the best time ever. I have a fantastic guest here tonight at Spaced Out Radio. I have Jesus Payan Jr. here with me tonight, and we have some interesting things to talk about. But don't forget that right after this show, After Hours has a great program set up for you guys tonight. Okay, so let's get to our guest. Jesus Payan Jr. is an actor who plays Gonzo on the hit series Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, along with numerous other movies. He is also a longtime Sasquatch researcher. He's been on a lifelong quest to find and understand the reality of this mysterious creature and the other mysteries of the world. He was chosen as one of the field researchers for the Falcon Project, and he was featured on Finding Bigfoot on their Four Corners episode of the Upper Fruitland Navajo Reservation, where Jesus Jr. threw the first Bigfoot Conference ever on that reservation. He was part of the Cryptid Hominid Genome Project, and he's been face-to-face with a Sasquatch within 10 feet of him, as well as other sightings. He's been researching Sasquatch in and out of the field for well over 30 years. And oh my gosh, we're not only going to be talking about Sasquatch tonight, we're going to be talking about something a little different. Forbidden history. Okay, so let me pull up Jesus to the show and welcome Jesus to Spaced Out Radio.
Hello.
Hey Jesus, thank you for being here with me tonight. Absolutely. I think your microphone's a little bit low, but I can hear you. I can hear you. Just get close. Okay. Awesome. Oh my gosh, Jesus, you've been hanging out with me on my YouTube channel at the Cryptid Huntress a little bit. And I know you've been here before. You're a friend of the show. You've actually been here with Dave Scott and on Off the Trails. And but you and I have been talking about stuff that's different than just Bigfoot. And you have really opened my mind and my eyes to the forbidden history of not only America and North America, but the world when it comes to timeline deception, star forts, the Tartarian Empire, orphan trains, human resets, all that kind of stuff. And I thought maybe it'd be a great idea for us to talk about that kind of stuff here on Spaced Out Radio tonight. What you think?
I think that's a good idea. Not that people know about this stuff. Even they're well informed, you know, and by the
I can't hear you.
You hear me now?
I can't hear you. I'm having a hard time. Yes. Just get really close. You might have to put the phone in your face. Whoa. Okay, that's better. Okay. There you go. Better? Way better. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All totally right. Better. Okay, let's rewind. Let's rewind.
Right. What I was saying is that even the well-informed researcher, not very many of them know about all these different things, and that was how I was. You know, I thought I knew a lot, you know, about a bunch of stuff, and I do. But then one day, I was just like, what the heck? I hadn't heard this one, and then you just dive in, and it takes you on this whole different
rabbit hole.
No, for real, you know, it does. Seriously. I love
It
it.
does. It takes you down a hole. Like I always say, like my rabbit hole that I went down became a portal or like a wormhole. Seriously,
Right?
into all this other stuff. And I can honestly, I credit you for a lot of that, for the
Appreciate it.
hidden history kind of stuff, because I was unaware of. You had talked about the mud floods, and that's very controversial. But what's not controversial these days?
Right?
So, yeah, I think everything's controversial. But yeah, the Tartarian Empire, the giants, that's something that I talk about a lot, are giants. I've done some remote viewing on giants. We have giant skeletons found all over the U.S. I don't know where Jesus just went, but I can promise you guys he'll be back. You never know what you're going to get on Space Out Radio. That's why I love this show. And I love you guys. Thank everybody in the chat for being here today. And yeah, here's Jesus. He's back. He's back. There's Jesus.
I was abducted by aliens. Sorry, guys.
Abducted. I thought I saw a laser beam come down. I saw a flash.
Yep,
Yes.
no, my phone's tripping. I think it's working. I can hear you too. It's
They're
just the phone.
watching.
Somebody is, and somebody's
Somebody.
watching.
Hey, we're on some kind of watch list. They'll just beam us up at any moment. And wow, that happened live on air tonight.
You remember what happened after that one episode? What happened to my Facebook?
Your Facebook got deleted by the powers that be. It did,
Yep.
because we're talking about stuff that is not, people don't want the information to get out. I don't know who they are, but they don't want it to get out.
I had never been suspended before or had any troubles with the Facebook jail or nothing before. And then since 2010, I opened mine on 2010, and that was a long time ago. And then we did that show, and then that night I got a message saying that my Facebook was suspended for 30 days. I had to wait 30 days to find out if they're going to give it back or not. And they just said that I didn't follow their standards or something.
Oh yeah, I've had that too.
But then 3 days later, only 3 days later, not 30, 3 days later, I get a message saying the people at Facebook have decided that it would be in best interest to permanently ban your Facebook. I was like,
The
what?
overlords. I got banned too, Jesus. I did.
I was like, what the heck, man?
Well, you know what? Okay, well, here's the thing. We're talking about stuff that is just not, it's not on the list of appropriate things for the sheeple, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I had a Facebook page for less than 24 hours and mine got permanently banned because I had posted something that was about, my friend had a show. He was on a show called Killing Bigfoot, which is kind of bad, but it was just the name and the picture. It was the picture of the show of their thumbnail. And they permanently deleted me. So, but I feel partly responsible for that because you came on my show and then the next day you were banned. It's my fault.
Now I know who to blame. Mm-hmm.
You blame me. It's fine. I'll take the blame. Listen.
I got 4,000 letters to write out to tell everybody why it happened. No.
Yeah.
It took a long time to build all those people up because they weren't just fans. You know what I mean? It wasn't my fan page. But I used it for the majority of my advertising. I didn't like using the Facebook page.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. But I used my personal one, and I had 5,000 people on it. And just out of nowhere, it's like, poof, gone.
Just gone. Well, that's kind of the day and age that we're living in right now. It's just things can just disappear on us. That's why I download all of my podcasts to a podcast platform, my shows, and to Rumble, okay, and other platforms. So you guys can find Jesus, Payan Jr. and I all over all the platforms, not just YouTube. Okay, so
it's called Rumble.
Rumble, I'm on Rumble. Yes, I'm on there too.
See, yes. I need to catch up.
Yeah, they don't censor over there. So yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Anthony's in the chat. What's up, Anthony? Anthony is from the DAX Machina podcast. And yeah, we missed him last week. I'm sorry that you couldn't make it last week, Anthony. He had an emergency that came up. He was supposed to be my guest. So DA and Robbie took over. Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. Okay, well let's get to our topic tonight. And there's a chance we might have a surprise guest on tonight. Brown Dwarf is perhaps going to be hopping on tonight. So we'll see. We'll see if he can take a little break from work tonight to hop on with us. And I know you guys are buddies, and he's my buddy too.
There's Hieronymus.
Yes.
What's up?
Yes. Oh my gosh, Jesus is the man. Yes.
Good people here tonight.
Yes. We listen. My audience is the best audience on the internet. Okay, anywhere in the entire world.
Sugar bitches. Well, hell, everybody's here now. Damn.
Everybody's here. Trust me. And we even have look. My friend Juanito, Area 51, is in the house tonight too.
Area 51. I
think that's one of the best names ever. So yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm having a lot of fun tonight. Let's kind of get to like our topics, okay? Because you and I have talked about everything from the Tartarian Empire to the old world fairs to orphan trains to incubator babies, star forts, and most recently we talked. Yeah, right. But most recently we were talking about the Egyptian settlement out of the Grand Canyon. Okay, that was an amazing show, by the way. Yeah, I mean, there's actually a place in the Grand Canyon that housed over 50,000 people, Egyptians actually, and I had someone contact me who said they know. They said for a fact, okay, but someone I know and trust, they said that there's actually still settlements in there today, and people live there in this place. That's why it's so heavily guarded by the military. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Could you believe that?
I think I could. I was about to say, when you get some free time to remote view, take a visit. If they allow you to go through that area, you know what I mean? Sometimes some of the places you go, they are aware of when people show up. Yeah.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm sneaky. I can do it. I know how to do it. I can do that. It would not be. It's not out of the realm of possibility for me to remote view something like that. Absolutely. Why not? Right. Not? Because not only were there Egyptian settlement, a gigantic Egyptian settlement there. As a matter of fact, let's pull up some pictures from that because there were. Let's kind of tell the audience about what was going on there. Okay, so back in the day, there was a man who was sent to. He was actually a contractor for the Smithsonian. Okay, and we all know the Smithsonian, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were sent to the Grand Canyon to go look for this settlement, and he got there, and I'm trying to remember, it was the early 1900s, explorer G.E. Kincaid traveled in a boat to the Grand Canyon. He came across a large carved staircase leading to a passageway covered in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. It was enormous, okay, large enough to hold 50,000 people. Artifacts of an advanced organized civilization were found, including a large crypt of mummies, weapons, and a large statue of a Hindu Buddha. Okay, Hindu Buddha. So like that kind of goes against like it's not just Egyptian. There's like Hindu religion in there as well.
Right.
He contacted the Smithsonian, but it was because he worked for the Smithsonian basically. But he was asking for funding to be able to go excavate this canyon. Okay, this cavern that he found that was big enough for 50,000 people. That's like at least a football stadium, right, Jesus?
About this, here's to give a good example of the size of it is for those out there who do research a lot. Do you remember in Turkey, that guy was digging in his backyard or something, and he ended up finding that underground in his house?
Yes, yeah.
And that complete floor after floor after floor after floor of rooms, underneath it. In that place, I don't know, it was like how many stories it was, but it was over 5 stories. I know that was like 10, I think, altogether or something.
Yeah, it was like an underground city.
That one held 10,000 people. So that's how big that was. Imagine. That's big. Yeah, that's huge. Huge.
It was huge. There's so much hidden from us. Listen, on Thursday, was it Thursday night? I got to sit in for Dave Scott for his normal weekday show and Friday too. It was amazing. I had the time of my life once again, and I had Stephen and Evan Strong out of Australia on the show, and they are archaeologists, okay, and they have a theory called the out of Australia theory that life was seeded in Australia. Not we didn't come from primates out of Africa. They have
Yep.
proof that we actually were seeded here on Earth by the Palladians. Okay, like real
My
star
wife
seeds.
is made in Australia. She's
Really
Australian. Yep.
amazing, awesome.
Coincidences, and she introduced me to Vegemite. It's really good.
I
You know how to
love that. Wow.
make in Australia. I was just like, oh damn, Hi,
Yeah.
how you
I
doing out
love the
there?
accent from there too. That was amazing. It was my favorite.
So
Yes.
that's the one accent I can't do. It sounds
Yeah.
really ridiculous. I try to tease my wife and it doesn't work.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I love Australia. Every time I think of Australia, I think of Crocodile Dundee. You think that's a knife? This is a knife. That kind of stuff. But yeah, I had Stephen and Evan, his son, on, and that was one of the more profound shows I think I've ever done. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and no offense, Jesus, you and I have done a lot of shows together, but but that was a good show. Okay, that was a really good show.
That's epic. You know what I mean? Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. So, but yeah, it just proves that to me it shows that history is covered up. Okay, they even have like stones with alien technology in them,
Yep.
possibly from Atlantis and Lemuria, and this. Guess who wants their stones? Jesus, take a wild guess of who wants to hold their stones for them.
The
Starts
uh,
with the S.
the same place that likes to hold giant bones and then lose them. The Smithsonian.
Yeah. Yes, they basically told him to f off, and I'm not going to cuss, but yeah, they told him no, they're not. They're not going to let him have their stones. It would just go in a box. It's not just going to go in a box. Probably get shipped to the Vatican or something. you
They
know.
have such a cool Yelp review now. For losing storage and stuff. Like it's ridiculous the amount of stuff that's just gone. Like it wasn't just like 15 artifacts or this or no. Hundreds of thousands, I would say, of different types of bones. You know what I mean? Giant ones and weird
Yeah.
ones. Oh, I don't know. We just kind of accidentally we destroyed them. I think, actually they never were here. They were never here. And Mr. Kincaid didn't work for us.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that the gentleman had, Stephen and Evan, they have bones. They had a skull of what could be a moon-eyed person or an alien.
Right.
Okay, the moon-eyed people. So they have that, and they're under fire for it. So I really have a lot of respect for them coming out publicly and coming on Spaced Out Radio and sharing all that information with us. It would change our history books as we know it. Okay, it changed our history as we know it. But yeah, history books they teach us
Yeah.
stuff that's not probably really history. So not our real history, but it's something really cool because you actually don't you teach archaeology classes or you do something with archaeology, right?
Study archaeology. I used to teach at a natural history museum, kind of the whole
Yeah.
natural history of the world, and yeah, but that's what got me started in learning how to do the research in that field. And
Yeah.
nobody knew that for a long time. I did that for a long time. Everyone was just like Bigfoot, and yeah, man, no, it's really cool because I found giant, tools that I was thinking because the area where I found them is like a hugely populated area of Sasquatch. So why couldn't at some point the Sasquatch be the one swinging around these huge stone tools and axes and like sledgehammers? I mean, it's just ridiculous. The biggest one I found, I would say, I would compare to, the exercise balls, those big exercise balls. Well, imagine like kind of pushing it down and making it more, squish, but in a axe shape. So that's
Wow.
really big. It's either maybe it was like the Flintstones. I'm just saying, and they had big old, rocks being used as parts to dig with or something. Because unless dinosaurs are, if you believe in the dinosaurs, unless they were doing it,
Yeah.
big giant person had to swing that damn thing, and the average size, the Dr. Dyer, he's the head of anthropology now in Virginia. He said, like, that was a horrible example, but there we go. About this big right here, stone tool head would be on the larger side of a stone tool for those types of tools, because
Yeah.
you can only swing so hard. But I found all these huge ones, huge stuff, man. That just makes no sense. So there's so much out there we still don't know. So much. So cool.
And if it's up to the people in charge, we're never going to know. But guess what? We have Spaced Out Radio, the Cryptid Huntress, and Jesus Payan Jr. And we're going to tell everybody what we know, and the strong family as well. We need to talk about this because there's giants. Like I've come to the conclusion that we're the little people. Okay, like you and I, like, and you're a big dude, right? Like you're really tall, right? I'm 5'8". I'm pretty small, but we're the little people compared to these giants that roam the earth. I think you and I have even talked about the stumps that are mesas. I'm team stump, Jesus. I don't know about anybody else. I think those were trees. What do you think?
I think a lot of them are trees, and that's the thing. Everybody thinks that you can only believe in one theory, and there's the tree stump people. Then there's it was giants that fell down and turned the rock to their mountains, and but I think it's a little bit of all of them. Some of them are trees. Some of them are the giants that turned to stone. And everything, whatever happened, just everything turned to stone. Just like all at once, and it's wild stuff. There's so much we need to put together. Stop just saying no. This is the only way. This is the only possible way it could be. When we have all these different puzzle pieces that we all need, and they would just let go of trying to be. That's my evidence. That's my research. Man, it's like, come on, put it together and figure it out first, and then we can bicker over who gets credit.
Who cares at this point? Life is so absurd at this point, when on so many levels, and I'm just sitting here having fun. I'm just having fun. I'm just watching the world go wild, and it's the world going wild, and I'm having a good time. Now, what you were really opening my eyes to, not only to the stumps, the mesa stumps, and things like that, but the old world fairs. Okay, and I know we touched on the ancient Egyptians in the Grand Canyon. We're not going to stay on that for long. If anybody would like to know more, go to the Cryptid Huntress on YouTube. You guys watch that video of Jesus and I. That was an amazing episode of A Glitch in the Matrix. Let's go to the old world fairs, okay? Because you had mentioned to me a while back that was it San Francisco or San Diego? It was pretty much like grown up. The architecture was just not exactly what we were. It doesn't make sense for like the time, how advanced they were. Okay.
Yep. Living with the Chicago Fair.
Oh yeah, I have pictures. Let me see if I can pull them up while we're talking about it.
If that's the ability they had right there in that time, which looks like you're not in America. Well, besides, that almost looks like a Statue of Liberty if it wasn't. But yeah, these buildings. If you look around beyond these buildings and what they were building for themselves, it was way basic stuff. Compared to that. And then they'd say they built the whole place in 1 year to 2 years. When like I've said before, it takes my local town here 10 years to take some potholes out of the damn street. But these guys
do that on purpose. That's a whole other topic,
right? So people with horse and buggy are doing that. You know what I mean? Like that would be amazing today to build that whole irrigation system, waterways, and come on now. Then they would destroy it right afterwards.
Yeah, they destroyed it because from what I've studied and what you've told me and everything, it seems as though they were harnessing free energy, perhaps something with Nikola Tesla's free energy or something. There was something going on there that
they lit it because during those times with electricity, if you look at the pictures at night of those places, holy crap! You've seen those, right? The nighttime shots? They're nuts. Like it looks like Vegas. I mean, back then, and it's like, yeah. Watch if you can find them. Watch nighttime shots of the World Fair. It's nuts. And what it seems like is that all these places possibly that they were already there. People didn't see them before, but this was their way of explaining away why they're destroying them. You know, so they'd be like, all right, come
Yeah.
on down, everybody, check it out. Look at all this crazy technology. It's just a fair. We're just showing you the latest stuff. Okay, bye-bye. Blow this stuff up. Hurry up, pull it, you know?
We're just displaying incubator baby. Was that the Old
Mhm.
World Fairs was incubator
Yeah,
babies, right? We're just putting human cloning on display for everyone and not calling it that, right?
yeah. Here we have a completely empty city. Bring all these kids over, fill it up with the kids, and all the kids are the workers, and now the kids are in the streets. You look at the pictures, there's no adults. Nowhere.
There's no adults.
Mhm.
It's right. Like, where are the mothers at with all these babies? So, and I'm not sure if the audience is familiar with incubator babies. And, when I first looked into it and you were teaching me kind of about it and telling me about it, I just thought, oh, that's weird. Maybe they're just wanting to get babies adopted. There's just a whole lot of extra babies out there that need adoption. But it's
But,
like massive amounts of babies that kind of came out of nowhere.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Ridiculous amounts of babies just were available, you know.
Just order your baby out of a Sears catalog.
Really? And they would mail. They would literally, yeah. They would literally have the mailman deliver the damn baby in a satchel.
You stick a stamp
You
on its forehead. That's right. You
know?
could legally mail a child back in the day.
Yeah, that's how common it was. How common for something to be common. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, holy crap! What's going on here?
I don't know. I don't know what was going on back then. I mean, we have our own problems today in the modern world, but that was odd. And so that's something else that you and I have talked about before. And I know a brown dwarf has been on the show before, and we've talked about the human resets and the human cloning, perhaps. And there's something very interesting that was brought to my attention, and that's these postcards. Do you remember the postcards?
Yep.
There are postcards from like the 1800s, I guess. And
Yep.
let's see, they show babies in cabbages. And I grew up loving the Cabbage Patch Kids. I had several Cabbage Patch children,
My,
kids.
my parents got my sister one, and they got me one, so I wouldn't be mad that you got something. I guess because you're little, I got mad before or something. But they got me one too, and I thought it was cool. Thought cool, Cabbage Patch Kid, little homie, because I was like maybe 5 years old. I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. And I thought it was so cool, you know.
Oh yeah, I totally had I had Tad Shane. I remember their names. I remember Tad Shane. That was one of them.
Yeah. It makes sense now, though. Now that we know this, what those were, because back then, and because when you get them, it came with a birth certificate and everything, you know. When you got the toy, then we find this out later, and that's what blew my mind too. And I started seeing that, I was like, "What the hell? What's the Cabbage Patch Kid?" You know. And but they actually
Yes.
came to join them. I was like, "What the heck's going on?"
Well, and they had the signature of Xavier Roberts on there, and he signed all their butt cheeks. Okay, and it seems so harmless and so fun, and like there's a Babyland General here in Georgia where I live, and it's interesting that I Bigfoot up there. That's one of my areas that I go Bigfooting. That is an area of high strangeness in Cleveland, Georgia. Okay, so it's part of the North Georgia mountains and the Appalachians, and there's high strangeness there in so many levels, and so it's interesting that they have this like it's like a old plantation style building with like the columns and everything, and it says Babyland Journal in the front of it, and you go there and they have babies and cabbages. Okay, and once
Oh,
a day or in the morning or whenever, the nurse will come out and they'll pull up a baby out of a cabbage, and a baby is born out of a cabbage patch, and the kids there get to name this baby, and they give it a birth certificate and everything. All right, but all the babies look the same pretty much. They're
right?
all like either they're bald headed when they're first born, okay, and they either have blue or green eyes, usually blue eyes or brown eyes, and they come out and. But when you buy them in the stores, they have hair, okay, and stuff, and they're like different
I'm never
races.
gonna eat cabbage again.
Yeah, right. I mean, but when you go to Babyland General, they're generally all Caucasian babies there and stuff, and which lines up with these postcards that were very popular in the 1800s. What the hell is going on here, Jesus?
I think it was a Black Friday sale at Toys R Us. Yep.
Black Friday sale at the local five and dime back then, whatever.
Yeah, but that makes no sense because like this wasn't just a one group of like this was all of them right there. No, it was like literally just one group in one town, and they were all doing that. My phone's about to die. Let me plug it in real quick.
Yeah, I mean, this is all of these cards. There's a series of thousands of these cards. There's at least 1,000 of them. There's
Right?
actually a YouTube channel called believe it's The Mind Unveiled. I believe is what they're called, and they have a great series of videos on these cards. But what it shows is parents, like a man and a woman, like a couple will go and they'll pick out a baby out of the patch.
Yep.
And this was, like I said, it's from the 1800s. These are French, I believe. But this is kind of telling the story of what was going on in the United States at the time, because not only were there babies, kids kind of coming out of nowhere, they were being brought in on something called what they called orphan trains all over the United States. And it was interesting, like nobody really knew like where these kids were coming from. Everyone was told they were orphaned.
Right.
Okay. And of course we had the Great Depression, and parents were allegedly selling their kids off because they couldn't afford their kids. Like maybe that happened. Perhaps. I'm sure it happened. It may be.
To some extent, I'm sure. But for me, this is the real question, okay? What would necessitate the need to bring that amount of individuals to a barely forming, country? There were so many, just like right now, I understand, like China, they have whole cities they're making, nobody's there, right? They're getting ready to bring a bunch of people there. All these new cities that pop up like that. Nowadays, I can understand because we're fully developed in agriculture and the whole system's all set up now. But back then, we're supposed to be just starting, kind of, not barely, but not to where the point where we're like, man, we built all this stuff and we got nobody to live in it. Hey, can you call somebody and send about 3 billion children? It's like, come on, that's a lot of people to defend.
Well, it sounds as though they needed to reset the populations.
Yeah, repopulate, because for some reason, a whole bunch of us just disappeared all of a sudden, just poof, gone, and there was just all giant buildings left.
Mail order babies, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something to think about. This is all food for thought. And so for the audience tonight, Jesus and I are just presenting some information out there. We're not saying it's one way or I can't talk one way or another. We're just simply presenting this information because it's an anomaly. I mean, it doesn't really make sense once you start really thinking about it. And
what if that was the I'm sorry to interrupt. If that was the foundation that has continued on, but has gone completely underground, and today we call it child trafficking, and right.
Well, that's the thing as well, and so
they're using the old, the old tunnels under the ocean and all these different things that they're saying is possible out there. I just think it'd be interesting because it's all there, all the infrastructure for that system of them bringing all these people over back and forth. What are they using? The bad guys now are using it. You know what I mean? So,
well, that's a whole other thing. It's a whole other topic because we've got the orphan trains being dispersed throughout the country. And then, okay, let's fast forward a few years because we got these orphan trains with all these kids, okay, being dispersed all over the country. We don't know where they came from. And then all of a sudden, all of these asylums pop up all over the country. Asylums, like how many crazy people could they have? Could we have in the United States, Jesus, to need to have gigantic asylums? We have one here in Georgia down in Milledgeville. To this day, it's known as like the lunatic asylum or something. It's like a hospital for women, I guess. They still have that down there today.
It's like, well, one, like if you have a basic idea of the reason besides being born genetically like that, you know what I mean? What kind of things would cause that effect on the minds to make so many people have to be put in those asylums? Like I said, if this was a time where they're selling children, They were okay with beating the crap out of people. Corporal punishment beyond that. Drugs were around too back then. Lots of drugs were back then. So it's like just like if you go into any city out there right now, the real city, in the real bad part of the town where not even the bad people want to go. You know what I mean? And you'll see just all kinds of people that are just talking to themselves and just out there, and it's all drugs everywhere. So
Yeah.
I really don't hear that much about back then because it was normal for people in those days to have a bag of cocaine, and just like, jolly good day, And
Well, that's where Coca-Cola comes from. That was created in Villa Rica, which is right down the road from my house.
So imagine if you have a whole population that has no idea, how it's going to affect the whole damn city, and everybody's like doing all these drugs. You're going to have part of the population that has to put away.
Those are some wild party days back then, man. They were all over the place, I bet. Yeah. Life sped up back then, I guess, so to speak. Oh my gosh. Jesus. Okay, so Miss Vata, I can't see the name. I'm sorry, my eyes are bad. It says, any thoughts on missing time in human history? Now, you have talked about the timeline deception and how the years are all messed up. So can you kind of talk about that a little bit and explain what I'm trying to say to the audience?
Okay. So, kind of what I think happened at some point is that because of ancient prophecy, all right, or somebody making the declaration calling it prophecy, they wanted to speed up the process, do it themselves, and in order to fool a lot of people to do it, whatever the nefarious reason is, to get us to kind of like if you showed a big picture of wherever you're at, God in the clouds, but you're using technology to show it. They don't know that it's technology, and you're down here. Holy crap! My bad. Do whatever you say, man. I'm sorry for everything I've done.
Control, right?
Yeah,
control.
So, if we're thinking it's 2023 right now, and then in reality it's really 1023, that changes the whole story. Of everything that's going on and where we're at. And all the people are like, we're in end times because it's this year and this is what's going on now. And for 1,000 years, we just didn't do nothing. We were just bored and, nothing changed. No, we didn't think of nothing new for 1,000 years. Does that make sense? When you do the actual research of history, there's big gaps of history, period, just missing. And if you look on tombstones, a lot of tombstones, and there's some old buildings from the days of the World's Fairs, and you'll see that they say a J or an I before the three numbers. So it'll be like J639, and they started saying that means 1639. In reality, we're not where we think we are.
Well, I don't know where the hell I am. I'm sorry. I've said hell twice now on the show. I don't usually say that. I usually say heck. What is going on tonight? I've lost my filter. I said a bad word. It's not really a bad word. It's okay. I just jumped timelines. I think we're all on different timelines. Okay, so Jesus. So we're talking about the human resets, perhaps the timeline deception. We've even talked about star forts. You and I over at the Cryptid Huntress on YouTube. Well, there was something else that I talked about with Brown Dwarf when we talked about the human cloning, and that was the pod people. Are you familiar with the pod people?
Not as familiar as I should be.
Yeah, okay. Well, the pod people were kind of like what the incubator babies were. And this is just a theory, okay? And it was kind of like human clones. And so those are what they call all the children that were dispersed throughout the United States on those orphan trains and in the incubators and things like that, and that were shown off at the old world fairs. Yep. As being, and people would pay like a couple of bucks or 50 cents or whatever to go in to go see these incubator babies. It was quite a thing. Now, okay, if pod people are real, okay, if this is a real thing, they're called, that stands for privately operated drones. Okay, and these are actually manufactured clones of humans who are private citizens made to be worker bees, and kind of like the privates in the army now. And I think he and I were kind of comparing them to the story of the Cabbage Patch Kids and the stork that was like the overseer of all these slave children and stuff. I mean, it's just a wild story, but it starts to make sense when you start connecting the dots. Okay.
Right.
And I think that's part of like this forbidden history that we're talking about tonight. It's like stuff that's right in our face, but until we connect the dots, we talk about it publicly. It's just a big joke to whoever's doing all this.
Mm-hmm. No, what's really scary and depressing, I guess, is that these individuals that are running the show, that are in control of 8 billion people on this planet.
Yeah.
It's sad that they really have no care for life, for human beings. And if you study, look at the Bible or ancient Sumerian stuff, whatever, we get squished like nothing. We're used for all kinds of horrible things, wars, and just like cattle, and that's what they think of us as, cattle, and that's why there's so much evil people out there that are willing to do all that crazy, creepy stuff, and the adrenochrome thing, and just horrible stuff. We're nothing to them. We're just product.
We're feeders or breeders or whatever, whatever that is, right?
We're only here to just be their stepping stone to accomplish whatever the hell it is that they're trying to accomplish.
Well, we're here to try to shed some light on it, and just to kind of open people's minds to all of this, because it's really odd. And then we got the whole Tartarian Empire, the giants. You and I have talked about giants quite often. The Tartarians, I guess, and I know you talk about the mud flood. I don't know a whole lot about the mud flood. But it's something that comes up quite often, especially when I'm online on TikTok and Instagram, and because I think like I said, we're trying to connect the dots right now, and that just kind of falls in line with making sense with all this other information that we're uncovering.
Yeah, I would like to I wish, well, it probably does exist, but not available to everybody. A program, AI program, AI is crazy. But AI program, and we enter all the history that we can find. Doesn't matter, as long as it's considered some type of history for us. Conspiracy theory history, forbidden history, and then we enter everything there is available that we can get a hold of. Right, everything, all the information into the computer. Let the computer create an algorithm that will put the most sensible possible construct of the timeline of the actual history that happened, and pulls out all the stuff that don't fit right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder what we would have. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Very interesting. Now this is very interesting comment right here from Sovereign Cosmic Wildman, who, by the way, was at the Journey to Truth podcast that I was just on a while ago. Thank you for being here. It says, I've read before most of them, the asylums were interconnected with tunnels. Well, that's not surprising, because it seems like everything is connected with underground tunnels and networks underneath our ground. When I'm remote viewing, a bunch of the stuff that I look into with paranormal stuff like Dogman and Bigfoot and UFOs and Phantom Islands, they're all connected to either inner earth or underground tunnels and facilities. What do you know about that, Jesus? What do you think?
Well, a lot of stuff, like I said, everything does seem like it was connected. Of course, this is the older building. When they go, again, I watch a lot of the urban explorers, and people that they'll buy old houses at auctions, states, clean them and sell them, flip them, and they keep on finding, when they go into these basements, tunnels. Bricked up tunnels that go
to
the whole city, to all kinds of other different houses, and it's just a real common thing happening with all these old buildings. But then all of a sudden, everything was closed up, bricked up, windows were bricked up. They're finding like the mud flood thing. You dig down, there was a window there, but it's been bricked up too. Almost some of the places almost look like they were ready for it.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Underground, maybe.
Yeah. There's something underground. I mean, I've my friend Bigfoot Michigan Rob. He just has been telling a story called Dogman Island over on his channel, and it's all these like underground things going on in people's houses where like dogmen are coming in and out of people's houses like with their tunnel systems and stuff. I don't know. I listen. If I find some sort of any kind of underground tunnel anywhere near my house, it is getting. I'm calling in contractors. They're going to close that thing up because I don't want dogman coming in my house.
No.
But we just don't know what's going on underneath all these facilities. I mean, like mansions out in wherever, there's just too much trafficking and God knows what goes on down there. But yeah, I think it all kind of leads back to maybe it leads back to stuff like that, like trafficking humans. And you and I have talked about the reptilians even when we were talking about the ancient Egyptian settlement out in the Grand Canyon. I talked about it. I don't know if it was me. I take the blame. That's
Oh no,
why I'll
I've heard of it. I've heard
I
of
talked
that out
about
there.
it.
They're actually really big guys. Yeah.
Yeah, there's reptilians and also the moon-eyed people and the
Yep.
Native Americans talk about it out there, and they say they predate even the Native American settlements and things out there out west in Arizona, where the Grand
Yep.
Canyon is. Yeah,
And the Native American settlements talk about that they're from before. You know that they're there before they were. So
yeah.
it's not like other people saying, "Well, I heard they were there before the Indians were there" or something. It's like no, it's not like that. It's not. It's just actual all the history that we're digging out. It sucks that
Yeah,
everything that we do is contradicting what we were told. That really is annoying.
I know. I think Dave Scott might be in the chat tonight. Jesus has a sexy goatee, he says. That's from straight from the man himself, Dave Scott, who's away at a conference. I think it better be Dave. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's funny. We're having a good time over here. The woo party countdown continues. Yeah.
My,
Jesus, you should come to the Spaced Out Radio fan party. We're having a big old party in Las Vegas. That's not far from you.
God, Las
Uh,
Vegas.
yes, you bring the family, man.
I
Not
tell you, for that place, we lived there for a year. Oh my God, that was
oh,
wild.
did you? I've seen the pictures.
Yeah,
I remember the pictures. Weird stuff out there, huh?
living there. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was an adventure. I'll tell you that. And there's so many weird stuff in Vegas. Like I have endless UFO photos from Vegas. Uh, Ghosts, weird craziness. Just
That
like
rat thing that you had a picture of. What was that? It was like a rat human or
they're coming out
something.
of the
Yeah,
box. Yeah, it was. I was
I
walking
remember that.
down the street one night, we're going to go to the corner store, and I look over and I'm like, what the heck? And it looked like there was a person, a weird looking person, very small, weird looking person, crawling out of a little box, by some bushes by a hotel, and I was like, am I tripping?
I
So
saw
I
the
pull out my
picture.
phone. Yeah, I pull out
Yeah.
my phone and take a picture because that's how I know. I was like, if I'm hallucinating, it won't come out in the picture, right? Because everybody says, hey, you're probably hallucinating when people see weird stuff, right? But yeah, so I took a picture, and yes, sure enough, there was something crawling out of it. When I walked back, I took another picture. It wasn't there anymore, but the box was. And the grass that was around it wasn't bothered or nothing. It was creepy as hell, man.
It was
Yeah,
very creepy. You did send me that picture. I did see it. It was really scary. Yes. Deb from SAC, thank you so much for that super chat. You're awesome. We appreciate you.
There's Bigfoot's there underneath of Las Vegas. They go through the irrigation systems across the city to go
Oh,
from one side.
Bigfoots are in Vegas?
Yeah, yeah. There's over 1,000 people living in the irrigation systems underneath Las Vegas and the casinos, and they
Oh
would
my
talk about
God.
Bigfoot at nighttime. Bigfoots would just go through the irrigation, just walking through. They said they were huge. They smelled horrible, but Bigfoots didn't mess with them. They never mess with the Bigfoot. They let them walk by, and and that was it. So Bigfoot's using the tunnel systems to get from
Wow.
one side to the other to the deserts, going that way. Yeah, wow.
Well, I ain't going down no tunnel system when I'm in Las Vegas. So I'm sorry. I'm going to be in the Golden Nugget, though, broadcasting live for Spaced Out Radio. I
No.
think I'm going to stay out of the tunnel system. But hey, Dave Scott, I hear they serve breakfast down there for dinner. So just kidding,
If
Dave.
you guys go down there, go to
I'm
Roberto.
kidding.
Place is awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
29-cent Taco Tuesday. Dang.
Wait, say that again. Where is it? Because I need to write that down.
Roberto's.
Roberto's?
Yeah, it's a Mexican restaurant next to MedMen, the Century MedMen. That was right across the street from the Hard Rock Casino, which was just bought out by the Virgin Mobile. So now it's the Virgin Mobile Casino, right across the street. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm so going there. I'm absolutely going there. We're going to be there May the 19th through the 21st. Everybody, please come join us there. It's going to be amazing. Yes. We have a few more minutes here tonight. Let me see if I have some more pictures to show and stuff. Because I wanted to talk about human cloning. I think it's really interesting that we have the Cabbage Patch, which I believe that these kids were cloned. I think that cloning goes way back in history. Jesus, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it makes sense. We find artifacts we shouldn't be able to see being technology-wise back then. Like there's that one disc that has the process of from when embryos create the fetus first, so small that only in a microscope you can see these things, or know that process is a cellular breakdown. How would they know that 10,000 years ago? 5,000 years ago, why are we finding evidence?
I don't know. The Simpsons knew about it. Look at the Simpsons over here.
Well, that was on the Simpsons. Well, there you go. But seriously, you know what I mean? It's like
the Simpsons always know. How do the Simpsons know everything that's coming up? By the way, speaking of knowing something really awesome here, I was going to say knowing everything, but none of us know everything. I know that I love this guy. His name's Brown Dwarf. We're going to bring Brown up.
Yeah,
what's up, Brown?
Salute, Gonzo, Jessica, blessings to everyone in chat. I got the invite, so I thought I'd jump on, let you shine, and I thought I'd jump in and throw a few thunderbolts myself, brother.
Jump in, brother. Please do, man.
Yes.
All you, man.
Hey.
You got here just in time.
Yeah, hey, I just closed up shop, and I thought I'd tap in. You guys are diving in the rabbit hole I see here, and great topic. And it's one, personally, I think I've been jumping into myself, and I think it's a deep one, you guys. You can't cover it in a few shows, and I'm glad you're bringing it up again. And it all ties into everything. A lot of us are learning that these things are all tied in together, and it's amazing to find those little connection points and just this journey that we're all on. It's nice to be able to share this platform with you guys, and we all share bits of our journey. And shout out to all the stars in chat too. I see a lot of people in there shining. It's amazing. Yeah, so I wanted to bring up one quick thing before the show's over too. While we're on this topic, another topic I've been diving into that I want to share with you guys also, and I'm sure some of you are into it. I know some of you out there are into it. Is a specific channel on YouTube. It's called Mud Fossils University, and he's been going into some stuff. You guys want to get into some weird, creepy, but very enlightening also, and some interesting knowledge. Check it out, and you get the creatures, the giants, and so it's just another piece of this puzzle that you guys might want to add to your journey.
Brother, what's it called? Jessica, Brown Dwarf and I are going to be going on a Bluff Creek hike together here soon with Tate Hieronymus, and I believe they named the project the BC-19, right?
I'm not even sure, but I did hear about that, and I'm going to make that. And I know Connor, you're out there too. What's
Connor
up?
Fleck, Bigfoot Anon's in the chat tonight.
What's up, brother? Where you at? We're waiting for you. And some of the other guys in chat, get with us, man.
Awesome.
Shout out.
I want in on this. When are y'all doing that? Y'all let me know. I'm gonna be traveling around the world.
I'm not sure about the date. That's Tate's plan. We're gonna have to pick Tate's brain. He's in chat.
Okay.
Yep. I emailed Jessica the paper. So there you go. There's all the
right here. Here we go. You got some dates set and everything, man. But you guys, so y'all are going to be out. Y'all are on the West Coast. I'm over here on the East Coast. Me and Connor's on the East Coast with me, actually. Yeah. Hey, maybe me and Connor can ride together. I'll come. Okay.
Hey, sounds good.
We're going to be walking through a river almost the whole time.
Yeah, it sounds like quite a mission. I've never really quite done that. I think exactly what he wants to do. But I'm all for it, and that area always produces something, man. At least an experience for sure. So that'll be fun, and let's manifest that, bro.
Heck yeah! Can't wait.
I like the way y'all talk and think. You gotta manifest it. Everything is manifested, man. We manifest our realities here. So
It's that time, Jessica. You know what time it is.
I know. Hey, I manifested you tonight, right? I was
Boom,
like,
here we are.
yes, and here we are. I've been wanting to get you guys together actually on a show. So
Thank you. Yeah, this is awesome.
yeah.
Another show, and let's all get together and do it. You know.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, we need a
Excuse me,
show where you're on here longer, dwarf. Dwarf.
Definitely.
Brown dwarf.
Yeah. We could do
Yes.
that. We'll set that up. And also, while we're on your topic, I've also been looking into the old world structures in big cities. I'm in Los Angeles right now, and
Right.
oh my God, there's a lot of stuff to look at. And I've been documenting a little bit of things, and I want to be doing more of that stuff as well. But there's also small towns in California and in Oregon that I've checked out that also have the structures. And it's very interesting stuff. So hopefully I'll be sharing some more of that with you all.
Yeah, we're gonna do a show. Let's do another show in the near future with us three on there, okay? And
Cool.
we have a lot to talk about. I mean, we have separately talked about these topics before, each of us, but let's do a show on it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah,
Definitely. And a shout out to Dave. Dave, you're still in Frisco, man. You stay away from that tenderloin. It's dangerous at night.
What tenderloin?
Yeah, it's an
Shout out
area
to
in San
Joshua.
Francisco. It gets gnarly.
Oh my God, Dave! I'm sure Dave heard. Dave's probably busy fixing his hair right now. I love Dave. Well,
Shout out
he's
to Jay.
he's gonna be back here on Tuesday night, so nobody worry. He's coming back. Even though I love taking over that captain's chair Thursday and Friday. That was so much fun. I had a great time. Okay, so Jesus, where can everybody find you if they want to follow you?
Well, I'd say the easiest place would be YouTube at Breaking Bigfoot channel. So just youtube.com/Breaking Bigfoot. And then Instagram, you can find on Instagram, just look up at Instagram.com/Jesus Jr. 2012. And then you'll see
Okay.
my
Twitter?
And, Twitter, same
Yeah.
thing. Same thing,
Okay.
Jesus Jr. 2012, like that. Yeah, so all the sites you can think of, well, almost all of them. There's some I don't know about, like Rumble, Bumble, Humble. She said something about a Rumble or something right earlier.
I have
So-
Rumble. Yeah, I put all my stuff
I
on
know about
Rumble.
that.
Yeah.
There's Twitches and there's these ones and that ones. I'm learning.
Listen,
still.
both of y'all are on Rumble, and you're on my podcast too. I'm on Spreaker and Spotify and all that because I've done shows with both of you guys on my channel, so it's all there. Yeah.
Right on.
Brown, where can everybody find you? What's your
Yeah, on-
YouTube?
On YouTube, it's brown_dwarf, and hopefully it'll pop it up. I recently switched the underscore to help it pop up when people look it up. And then over on TikTok, it's brown_dwarf 420, and then it'll have links to the Insta and all that. But I'm working on all that stuff too, man.
TikTok, I love his TikTok, guys. Everybody, if you're on TikTok, go to his TikTok and add yourself.
It is
I'm
great.
still use TikTok. I got TikTok, but I got like 10 people or something, I think.
We'll get some more for you, man.
Yeah,
bro.
you need to give us some pointers on that TikTok, Brown, because I don't.
I'm learning. Ask Connor.
Mine has not grown very much because I don't put effort.
Dance to be on TikTok. I was like, I don't want to do TikTok. I ain't gonna want to dance.
I
Then
ain't
I
popping and
realized-
locking, booty shaking on there. I know, right?
Yeah, Connor
my
has
gosh.
the formula.
Connor does. Connor actually gave me some pointers. I need to go back and talk to Connor some more.
Cool.
So, hey, maybe we can bring Connor on too. Man, what a
Hey.
panel! That would be the panel. All right, Connor, if you're listening, we're gonna have you on too. We'll do a panel one night next time y'all come on. Okay, and so I want to thank you guys so much for being here tonight. This has been such a blessing. Jesus, Brown, thank y'all so much for being here. Everybody, please go subscribe to their channels. Follow them on TikTok. And yeah, we're gonna get back here soon within the next month. We're gonna have another show together. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful night. I will see y'all soon. Thank y'all for being here. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Bye, Jesus. All right. That was amazing. Don't forget that right after this show, After Hours has an amazing show for you guys. They're going to take you on a journey for the next 3 hours. Next time on Off the Trails, I've got Cryptid Warfare. I have Zook and Drewski coming on from Cryptid Warfare. Y'all go subscribe to their YouTube channel and all of their social media. Those guys are awesome. They're going to be here. For now, I'm the Cryptid Huntress. I'm headed off the trails. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I want to thank Jesus and Brown for being here with me tonight. And for this wonderful run of me getting to substitute in for Dave Scott this week, it has been amazing. I love you guys. I'll see y'all this week on my YouTube channel, The Cryptid Hunters, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Bye.